Clark gets hurt, and guess what? Your demand vanishes because people ain't going to pay up to see these athletes that are ungrateful that their sport's growing.
When Caitlin Clark's injury threw the WNBA All-Star Game into a financial death spiral, many fans felt that way. However, what if I told you that the multi-million-dollar catastrophe was only the first shock? That's not where the narrative ends. Actually, that's where the true story starts. Because a much larger, more deadly story was developing in the background while the entire sports world was preoccupied with the mayhem in Indianapolis. The WNBA's best players are currently being actively poached by European leagues as a result of the Clark debacle, and it appears that this is the start of a full-fledged exodus. The league office is hoping you won't hear the one story we're piecing together today. How the instability of the WNBA is being exploited to entice its biggest performers to go abroad in search of greater respect and financial gain. Please hit the like button if you're interested in the true story behind the headlines. It helps us weed out the noise for you and lets us know we're headed in the right direction. Alright, so let's set the scene. In order to comprehend why players are searching for a way out, you must first grasp the scope of the catastrophe that recently revealed the league's true vulnerability. It wasn't just a few fans that had a change of heart. This was a financial vote of no confidence in the WNBA as a product in the absence of Caitlin Clark, a market collapse. The figures are astounding. The get-in price for the game plummeted by 48% as soon as Clark formally declared that she needed to rest her body and was withdrawing from the All-Star celebrations. In a few hours, it dropped from $121 to just $64. Consider that. These were tickets that had previously reached the highest average resale price in WNBA All-Star history, $262. Teams were suddenly unable to give them out. A significant portion of the $10 million economic effect that was anticipated for Indianapolis over the weekend disappeared overnight. The league unintentionally structured its whole growth plan around a single point of failure, as this tragedy demonstrated in the most severe financial terms imaginable. And now that one point of failure is hurt, overworked, and exhibiting symptoms of disintegration. And that's what has opportunistic predators circling from across the Atlantic, my friends, the blood in the water. To be clear though, there is more to this story than just the money. It has to do with why the money disappeared. It disappeared because the golden goose, the league's most valuable item, is being used excessively. At this point, every other WNBA player begins to pay really close attention. This injury isn't just an isolated incident. Caitlin Clark has already missed 11 games this season as a result of 4 different muscle injuries, according to the deep search file. There were 4 of them. This is the same player who, according to records, did not miss a single game in either her debut season of 2026 or her whole undergraduate career at Iowa. She was a woman of iron. What has changed, then?
Firsthand what Caitlin Clark is worth to this league, especially to
the narrative that is emerging on social media from both fans and critics blames the Indiana Fever's organization directly. There is a lot of conjecture that the team's medical personnel and injury management procedures are wholly insufficient, particularly in comparison to NBA norms. Someone who has the ball in her hands as much as Caitlin, the physicality that she's experiencing for 40 minutes, it causes you to load differently, explode differently, accelerate and decelerate differently, said Stephanie White, Clark's coach, who has been outspoken about the extraordinary physical toll on her. Other players take notice when the most valuable player in the league transforms from unbeatable to prone to injuries in less than a season. They observe a system that was unable to safeguard its most valuable resource. And they begin to pose a pretty basic inquiry to themselves. What's stopping it from occurring to me if they'll allow it to happen to her? And the worldwide predators have been waiting for that dread and that crisis of confidence. Alright, we're going to make some connections that will lead us far into rumor area. But this is the crux of the whole tale and is being reported by reliable industry sources. A shocking report can be found in the deep search file. According to reports, European basketball leagues are already recruiting American players by exploiting the WNBA's instability and these same injury management problems as direct selling points. They actively engage in poaching. They observed the Clark catastrophe take place. They are taking action after noticing the players' displeasure. It's a terrible 1-2 punch. So let's examine what that European sales presentation truly sounds like. They start with the obvious: money. Although this isn't always the case, reports indicate that offers from elite European leagues occasionally surpass WNBA compensation. A higher salary is a simple approach to attract athletes who feel underappreciated and underpaid at home, a subject we will soon discuss. It's the hook. Their agent answers the phone for that purpose. It's not a knockout punch, though. Money has nothing to do with the actual knockout blow, the portion of the throw that is currently landing with horrifying accuracy. It is the promise of everything that the WNBA is currently unable to deliver. Career security, stability, and respect in the workplace. The source files are clear. American players are being offered greater professional treatment and job security by European leagues. Consider it from the viewpoint of the player. You just witnessed a physical breakdown of the biggest star in the league. You've seen the social media talk and publications casting doubt on the caliber of the medical personnel on her team. The league itself seems shaky and disorganized.
Okay, pay attention. Pay attention. We saw the viewership drop. Ticket sales dropping. Attendance dropping.
And in the midst of all that uncertainty, a call from a Spanish League of Femenina or Euro League squad arrives. They're giving you peace of mind, not just a contract. They promise top-notch medical care and professional standards that will safeguard your health and help you advance in your job. An offer of stability and capable medical supervision becomes nearly enticing when your own league's economic strategy appears to be run our stars into the ground and hope for the best. They are using the biggest vulnerability of the WNBA to their advantage. Additionally, the league's internal strife is currently adding fuel to that fire. The complete instability surrounding the league's collective bargaining agreement, or CBA, is that gasoline. This is where things become very ugly, since it's no longer simply about one team's poor management. There has been a breakdown of confidence between the players and the front office throughout the entire league, and the timing could not be worse. The negotiations are escalating into a public conflict as the existing CBA is scheduled to expire on May 14, 2026. The players sent a strong united message in the same All-Star game that was financially collapsing. Wearing black shirts with a stark white slogan, they entered the court for warm-ups. Give us what you owe us. This wasn't a clue. It was a disrespectful statement made in public. The union's leadership is echoing that frustration. One of the greatest talents in the league, WNBA Vice President Breanna Stewart, bluntly referred to a recent CBA meeting as a squandered opportunity. Even more direct was Angel Ree, who declared, "We won't stop until we got what we want."
Tickets prices dropped because people quit buying the damn tickets. People was asking for refunds for the damn tickets. So you want to know what they had to do? Damn near give them away, bro.
On the one hand, the players are united in their rage and sense of deep disrespect. Conversely, Commissioner Kathy Angelbert has told the media that the conversations are constructive and fruitful. European recruiters are sowing their seeds in this enormous gap between the players' reality and the commissioner's words. Their entire sales pitch is validated by it. Why fight for respect from a league that doesn't get it when we are waiting to give it to you right now? They would say to a player. Role players seeking a larger deal are no longer the only ones at risk from this. This might have a cascading effect on the greatest stars in the league. During the WNBA off-season, a number of elite American players, including former MVPs, have played abroad. The poisonous atmosphere at home may persuade them not to return, which is the current existential threat. Being the uncontested star for a team in Europe must be quite alluring when you witness your own league marginalizing amazing talents like A.A. Wilson in favor of a sole preoccupation with Clark. And the WNBA would suffer greatly if a player of that caliber decided to permanently leave the league. Losing a single player isn't the only issue here. It has to do with how the league is viewed globally. This is very evident in the source files. The competitive quality and marketability of the WNBA would be severely damaged by a successful European poaching strategy. Consider it. The league loses its best players. The in-court product is negatively impacted. Sponsors begin to withdraw as viewership continues to drop. In the meantime, as international organizations make significant investments in marketing and broadcast infrastructure to establish themselves as serious rivals, those same players are now promoting a rival league. Every star that the WNBA loses directly benefits its competitors. As a result, the league has become a hollowed-out shadow of its former self and has lost its position as the world's most popular location for women's basketball. The illness wasn't the Caitlin Clark All-Star catastrophe. The deep internal illnesses afflicting the WNBA were exposed by the public fever. A poisonous, strained relationship with its own union, an increasing lack of trust in player health and safety, and a careless reliance on one player. There is currently a frantic fight against time for the league. It must combat an existential threat from the outside while resolving these underlying issues from within. Poaching has already started. There is no longer any chance of the exodus. It's a developing reality. And time is of the essence. I am now handing over the investigation to you, the narrative analysts. Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. Is the WNBA facing an actual existential crisis as a result of this danger from Europe? Or is the Players' Union simply using it as a clever negotiating strategy to obtain power in the CBA negotiations? Tell me your theory. Additionally, be sure to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications if you want to stay up to date on this story and other storylines that the mainstream media won't address. Our goal is to make the connections between the important tales. Lastly, please share this film with any other fans you know who should be aware of the true struggle being waged for the WNBA's future. The only way to tell the entire narrative is to carry on the conversation.